I want to start by saying, to all the Mario fans I made jokes about in the past, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't realize how insensitive I was being, and now it's come back to bite me. So I consider myself a rather large connoisseur of the Garf, perhaps not the most experienced Stanny of all things Garfield, but definitely an avid lover of the orange lasagna-loving feline. Alas, we have just received word that for the new big shot Garfield movie, Garfield himself will be voiced by none other than Chris Pratt. Yes, that Chris Pratt. Jurassic World Chris Pratt. Mario Chris Pratt. Homophobic church Chris Pratt. Not a different actor with the same name, not Chris Pratt. And as you can imagine, I was not pleased. Now, obviously, as a huge Garfield fan, I know it's easy for me to go on about how I think it isn't a good fit for Garfield, and that this is not a good first impression as to how this movie's gonna go. But I want to be upfront about the fact that I fully comprehend that a Garfield movie sucking is the least of the world's problems right now.
Perhaps you've noticed.
It won't even matter that much if the movie's bad. There's a ton of bad movies, and yet the world continues to spin. By choosing to close in and fixate on this small little corner of what's going on in the film industry right now, it does seem like they're just squandering whatever potential they could have had right out the gate. And admittedly, I do think there is a darker implication behind Chris Pratt voicing Garfield than just, well, he's not right for the role. Although I'm definitely going to touch on that. So just to get that out of the way, you see, Garfield has a lazy, tired, sardonic, deadpan voice that drips with sarcasm and arrogance. That's the joke of basically every Garfield comic. And Chris Pratt does not have that. While I admit Chris Pratt does have a bit of vocal range, I feel like that range only amounts to either wholesome puppy dog cluelessness like in the Lego movies, or just outright macho, testosterone-fueled, obnoxious frat boy energy. Neither of which really suits the character. And when people go to see this movie and hear Garfield, it won't register to them to think of it as Garfield. They're just gonna think, oh, it's Chris Pratt. And that's what happens when you get a voice actor who's really not fit for their role. It becomes very distracting. It just feels like a massive stunt, like something to get extra eyes on the movie, instead of, casting someone who's actually appropriate for Garfield. Your average Joe six-pack won't click on a Yahoo article titled, Frank Welker cast as Garfield for the Garfield movie. Oh no. But with a big $1 million name like Chris Pratt, you bet they will. It's like the studio behind the Garfield movie saw the huge reaction that happened upon the announcement of him being the voice of Mario and thought, how do we get people to talk about our movie like that? It all just feels so cold, dispassionate, and cynical, shoving whatever major star with a perfectly chiseled chin and youthful, starry-eyed appearance that'll guarantee to promise major buzz and confidence in the studio shareholders.
We've got to have money.
Hollywood, listen, I need you to know, no one, and I mean no one, goes to see animated movies because they saw a celebrity's name on a poster, alright? That's not a thing that happens. It's really disappointing how Hollywood has just sort of left voice actors behind. Those who are especially trained to actually lend specifically their voice to a piece of entertainment, they're just cast aside into the island of the additional voices credits. Not knocking additional voices credits at all, every part is important, but I wish these people had more prominence, the kind they deserve, and Hollywood understanding that these people could carry a movie. My Little Pony the movie and Teen Titans Go to the Movies is all the evidence you need of that. Both movies starring Tara Strong. It's especially disheartening when it's clearly someone they cast not because the person is right for the role, but because celebrity. Not saying celebrity voice acting can't be good, but do you have any confidence Pratt was cast because the filmmakers were inspired by his audition? No! He probably didn't even have to audition. His agent probably got off the phone and was like, hey Chris, you're Garfield. And Chris Pratt was all, awesome bro, Saturdays are for the boys and Sundays are for the Lord. It just now occurred to me that Chris Pratt definitely would have been Shrek if that movie had released today. I know the Peanuts movie only came out a few years ago, but if that came out in 2021, they would have found a way to squeeze him in. Chris Pratt is Charlie Brown. As we speak right now, Illumination is trying to find a way to get Chris Pratt to replace Danny DeVito as the Lorax in the Lorax movie they already made. But moving on, we have to touch on my biggest issue, the fact that Chris Pratt's church is homophobic. So Chris Pratt has been very outspoken about his evangelical religious beliefs and is a member of Zoe Church, which is itself related to Hillsong Church, known for having a history of gay conversion therapy and refusing leadership roles to queer people. Hillsong pastor Carl Lentz has said, "Our beliefs on biblical marriage and sexual morality has never changed at Hillsong Church." They also fired Josh Canfield, a gay person who was Hillsong's New York City choir director, and they responded with, quote, "Hillsong Church welcomes all people but do not affirm all lifestyles. Put clearly, we do not affirm a gay lifestyle, and because of this, we do not knowingly have actively gay people in positions of leadership, either paid or unpaid," end quote. I really feel this deserves a bit more coverage when talking about Chris Pratt. The fact that one of the most popular, supported, richest stars of today, whomst millions of people know and love, gives money to an institution with this sort of prejudice. But as far as I'm aware, Elliot Page is the only big name in Hollywood I've ever seen actually call him out on this. Remember that brief pocket of time in 2020 when people were actually talking about this on Twitter, to which all of Chris Pratt's cishet millionaire friends felt inclined to defend his honor? The question of whether or not he's actually homophobic was almost completely ignored by these people, waved aside like it didn't matter. Basically every attempt I've ever seen at defending Chris Pratt amounted to, "Well, he was a cool dude to me that one time." Well, yeah, I don't care if he's superficially nice to you, a person who isn't queer. Like, how do these people not see that obvious oversight? But yeah, that's why this Garfield news kind of broke me. It's not because I think this new movie will be bad, but what it means for Hollywood's treatment of voice actors for animated films, as well as Hollywood's complete indifference to casual homophobia. They'll happily overlook casual bigotry as long as you're a big enough name who will generate buzz, and if you need any more proof of this, Dave Chappelle probably got paid more money for his last few Netflix specials than most people will ever see. Netflix's reaction to that situation should tell you all you need to know. I find it amazing how dumb conservatives always talk about how Hollywood has this leftist agenda, yet these are the things currently going on in the year 2021. You know who would have been a better casting choice for Garfield? Most people. I mean, Maurice LaMarche was right there, guys. Or how about Frank Welker, who's voiced Garfield several times these past few years? Or if they had to go the celebrity route, they didn't. They could have gone with, I don't know, Danny DeVito? Maybe Adam Driver? Not Chris Pratt, is what I'm saying. I would have accepted John Oliver as Garfield. I would have accepted Tilda Swinton. I would have accepted James Marsden, Megan Fox, Seth Meyers, Idris Elba, Benadryl Number Crunch. Most people, basically, is what I'm saying. Who's gonna voice John in this movie? Nothing matters anymore. Is it gonna be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Is Kevin Hart gonna be the voice of Normal? Is Liz gonna be voiced by Ariana Grande? And that's how I feel about the Garfield casting. Garfield has found a way to break me yet again. If you'll excuse me, I'm off to go turn into the Joker. And yes, the irony that this news was announced on a Monday was not lost on me. Anyway, please try to enjoy your day. And snappy closer.